in the fire alarm process. These were connected to electric telegraph wires and poles spaced around the city, where you could actually ring a lever from a box, send a signal into the firehouse, which would ring bells in the fire towers, and also automatically raise barriers inside the firehouses, where the animals that they had up until about World War I would come out trained to be tethered to these steam boilers that they pulled around the streets. And since these were put up, with all those terrible fires that we had before 1880, we've not had a single major residential fire since these were put up. And even though they're obsolete today, they are a good monument to one aspect of modernization that was very worthwhile here in this historic city.
Why is Charleston been plagued by fire so badly?
We grew so fast, packed so closely together, and some of it was just bad luck. But we have had our share of terrible fire. Come up a little bit more so everybody can see down here, because this is a nice, no, that's all right. This is a nice colorful interlude. Just about every garden you look in Charleston, you'll see something in bloom pretty much any time of year. We have an incredible number of blooming species in Charleston. Our most famous, certainly here in the spring, the azalea, which comes out in these beautiful banks of pink, white, and red. You also get this time of year the quince, the flowering cherry, the peppermint peach, the ladybank's rose. And what's common to all those species, as many other species that are famous here in Charleston, is that they're not native to South Carolina. All those are Asian. We have an incredible number of Asian bushes because of this climate that basically allows exotic plants to grow. We also have a large number of masonry buildings that bear these interesting plates, like you see here under the windows. These plates were put on this 1840 house after the earthquake of 1886. The earthquake of 1886 was a severe, careful the SUV coming down the street. The earthquake of 1886 was very severe, damaged hundreds and hundreds of buildings in the city, killed more than 24 people. Reports talk about what sounded like a locomotive running underground. And even though it was before the Richter scale, geologists estimate it was about a 7.2, which is a major earthquake. And most damaging it was to brick and mortar buildings, because it caused the mortar to crack and the bricks to collapse. So afterwards, many of these were refitted with long metal rods that went between the floors and went to corresponding plates on either side, and they could be tightened within the house by lifting up a floorboard and tightening a turnbuckle, so that it would hold the walls together theoretically. And even though this has been here for over 100 years, we don't know whether it works, because we haven't had a major earthquake since. Although this has become a very, very common architectural